that was like, oh, that's a new feeling. Yeah.
Let's jump into the upcoming patch and the upcoming year for Star Citizen, because
Okay.
at the end of the day, like the way I play this game, knowing that there's resets and wipes, I'm like, I'm not gonna just pour all of my time into something that's just going to be taken away. And it's the same
Yeah.
thing with any kind of like persistent game, a game that's what would almost be described as an investment kind of game, because you're investing your time into your character, and that in and of itself drives your choice and your level of fun. But
Yep.
this year, after especially this last Citizen Con, the road to basically Alpha 4.0, which is, it's funny because I was like, you gotta really should have a 0 in front of that for like 0.4.0. Just that's how I would do it as a developer, because I'm like, we're not really like there, it's not released. Release is 1.0, and then you build from there.
But it won't have the alpha in front of it anymore.
Right. Then that's going to cause all kinds of confusion. But let's talk about this year, looking forward to what they've been showcasing. Because one of the things that I think was really interesting about your reaction, kind of and then my reaction discussion kind of breakdown, is that like I would say it feels right now that this is the year to actually be interested, not 10 years ago.
Yeah. You're coming in at the best time possible up to this point. There's no doubt about it. I mean, just to quickly go back to like the funding stuff, is they've taken money in showcasing Star Citizen and made a single player game with it. So that most of the work has gone into this single player game that they barely showed anybody for 10 years, right? So now we have developers coming from that game back to Star Citizen, and we're seeing the fruits of that labor now. And now, not only, like, you want to talk about the most recent patch, right? Like, not only are these developers coming back and we can hope things will be more polished, and that was like a big theme at CitizenCon, but look at how many things are in 323. It's almost as long as Chris's list about Final Fantasy, right? There are a lot of features on there in comparison to other patches that we've had in the past.
Right.
And most of those features are actually updates of previous features too, from like absolute, like really poor tier 0 levels of enjoyment to, okay, this is probably going to be enjoyable for some aspects of it. And then others are brand new features as well. But the coming year finally feels like we're focused on doing what I was always described what an alpha is, and that is build features and build features, and then beta B kind of clean those features up, right?
Mhm.
And I think we're working towards getting all those features in. Will they interact with each other? Not in 323. At the end of the year, probably not either. We don't. What does it take for them to interact with each other? An economy and progression system. But the main feature to me that sticks out for that in 323 is reputation. And I think that's what they're going to start using to create the video game that is has a shield from its funding model that has gotten in its way for so long. You have to play to earn reputation, and that's how I think they maybe, but they don't communicate these things to us. So that's how we maybe will see, okay, I want to build a reputation with the mining guild because I'm going to go that upwards ladder that Chris is talking about. And I know that I want to hit this ring on the ladder, and I do these things to get there. And you can't fund your way into getting to those things, because even if you get the really good ship that's going to make it easier, you still got to do the process. So
can you accelerate the rate at which you climb?
Possibly, but there's no game, Chris. I can't tell you. I can't answer it. I literally cannot answer
that's
that
the
question.
issue that WoW's gotten into, is that the WoW token, when it first released, was kind of like, man, what's this for? But World First guilds have figured out what it's for. And so because of bind on equip weapons, like money does not purchase you winning the World First raid race in World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Like, having the most money does not mean you will win. However, not having money does mean you're not in the race.
Fair enough.
So it is not that money is required to win, but it is that money is required to win. So like only people with money get to take part in the race.
Interesting.
And then the winner will ideally be determined by who does the best job adjusting to and executing on the mechanics.
That feels like what Star Citizen will probably end up being similar to.
Because they'll phrase it as like, well, the money didn't win it for us. It's like, yeah. Yes. But those of you that are not putting thousands of dollars in are going to feel very different.
But again, not everybody needs the money in this situation in Star Citizen, which is good.